Well, hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. It's Kyle from When Music Speaks, and I'll tell you what, I haven't done a whole lot of videos and a whole lot of interviews, but this one I'm really excited for and very honored to be here. And so I am here today with Phil Collingsworth Sr. from the Collingsworth family. They are a very well-known gospel music family. If you never heard of them, I don't know if you're living under a rock, what's been going on, but hopefully after this video, you'll go look them up. And I promise I'll put all of their information down in the description of this video, so if you want to look them up, please do. But Phil, thank you for being here.
Delighted to, Kyle. It's wonderful to be in West Virginia today.
It's a beautiful day.
Beautiful, and this area of the country is so God-blessed. It's gorgeous.
Oh yeah, well, we are actually on a series at our church, aptly known as Almost Heaven.
Oh yeah, almost heaven, West Virginia.
Yep, exactly.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, and well, we are excited to have you guys here, and I believe it or not, I was actually introduced to you all by my mom.
Oh.
Yeah, we were.
I'm grateful for your mom.
Yeah, we were actually on the way to the beach one year, and she was listening to one of your songs. I think it was. I don't honestly remember.
Okay.
And I was like, I really like that song. Who sings that? And she said, it's the Collingsworth family. And I was like, never heard of them, but I'm going to look them up. And so, and I looked you guys up, and love your all's music.
That's very kind.
And so, definitely looking forward to tonight.
So are we.
Right.
Nice to be back in West Virginia. It's been a while since we've been here.
Yeah. And I don't know if you remember, I actually spoke to you back in 2019.
Okay.
You were in Fairmont, just up the road.
At the high school auditorium.
Yeah, at the high school. And I was actually, it was after the concert. I was waiting on my parents, and you happened to walk by, and we talked just briefly. But I thought that was really cool to be able to do that.
I forgot that was in this area. That's like only 7 or 8 miles from here, isn't it? 10, maybe.
Yeah, 10, 15-ish. Okay. Yeah, something like that.
Awesome.
But sorry, I keep looking down. I have a little notebook here with some notes in it, so just in case. But so I just wanted to just basically ask you a few questions and just kind of get some background, on you all and your music ministry. And I wrote down here, you are a 1986 graduate of God's Bible School and College in Cincinnati, Ohio.
Correct.
Sarah was actually born in Westerville, Ohio.
Okay. Up by Columbus.
So yep. So she's an Ohio baby, but and
you know what an Ohioan is, right? A buckeye, a nut of no value. Sorry.
Oh,
that popped your balloon quick.
you can hear the you can hear the deflation just real quick.
I was born and raised there all my life, so hey.
I understand that. But so it looks like, from what I see, you earned a Bachelor of Sacred Music degree with a double major in trumpet performance and music education. That is impressive.
Well, and the Bible College there is works in coalition with the University of Cincinnati's College Conservatory of Music. So I actually got my trumpet. All of my trumpet studies were done at the University of Cincinnati, and then that credit transferred over towards my graduation at the Bible College. God's Bible School is a very historic school, been there 123 years.
Wow.
Oswald Chambers came from England and taught there in the early 1900s before he wrote My Utmost for His Highest and all those books.
Oh, wow.
So, it was a very highly looked upon school.
Right.
In the early 1900s it started. It's actually started in 1900. So it's been there 123 years.
Wow.
And turned out a lot of graduates, and I'm one of them.
Right, nice. That's your claim to fame.
Yeah.
So I see that I'm just kind of going down through it. It looks like you were also you also ended up being the dean of enrollment management
I went back there to work.
at at your alma mater there.
We had been married, maybe 15 or 16 years, and I went back to work for the college,
Okay.
and worked there as their dean of enrollment. And actually, that job is what precipitated us into going into concert ministry, because we were singing on the weekends. I worked the job at the college, did all the recruiting, did all their admissions processing for them, plus we sang on the weekends. And we kind of had to finally make a decision if it was going to be either or. It couldn't be
Right.
both, because they were getting way too heavy. We're getting so many requests for music events, plus I was trying to hold down all my responsibilities at the college. And so after being there, I think it was 3.5 years, we made the decision, okay, we're just going to take off full time to do this.
Right, I understand. I know. With YouTube, you see a lot of guys. They start out doing it, and then I was like, well, I got to quit my job if I'm going to be doing this full time.
Right.
Because it's like I got to go all in or it's nothing.
And now that was 24 years ago, and we've
Wow.
been doing this for 24 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw it. You started. So it said you started full-time concert ministry and professional recording in 2000.
That's correct.
Okay. So
It was actually January 1, 2000, Y2K, that we took off. So we've got 23 years behind us, and we're in our 24th year now.
I remember that day well. I remember my dad saying, "Man, I can't wait to wake up tomorrow morning and be like,
See if
yeah,
we're still here or not.
yeah." Well, no, he honestly was like, "Yeah, you guys hyped that up for nothing." It was just one of those things. It was like, "Yeah, you're gonna realize you hyped that up for no reason whatsoever."
And he was right, wasn't he?
Exactly. So it says. Sorry, I'm kind of just keep looking at my notes. But it says in 2019 you signed with Jeff Roberts and Associates out of Hendersonville.
Yeah, that's our booking agency.
Okay.
And,
All right.
and we're in good company there. CC Winans is booked with them.
Oh, wow.
Jason Crabb is. Sandy Patty is. David Phelps is. The Isaacs.
Oh, wow.
So that's kind of our core group of folks that are. And then on the contemporary side, you have Casting Crowns. You have King and Country. All of those are booked from that same agency.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
I didn't. Wow, you guys are in real good company.
Yeah,
over
we're a
there.
great company over there.
Real good company.
It is actually the largest Christian music agency in the world.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. And then, so along with that, it's I wrote down. It says in 2021, you guys signed a recording agreement with Gaither Music Group.
Yeah, that's correct. And
Put vocal and music together.
Yeah,
It came out
right.
vocal.
so it still bears Bill's name.
Right.
He does not own it. It's
Okay.
owned by a company out of New York City called Primary Wave Music.
Okay.
They bought Bill out in right before the pandemic, I think, or right around 20,
Oh, okay.
somewhere in there, and bought the Gaither Music Group. So, and they have really done some amazing things. The biggest thing is they have done the appropriate marketing for video footage watching on the internet.
Oh.
So they have marketed because they had all of those years of those Gaither videos.
Yeah.
They have those to cut up and put in as releases.
Right.
And they have done a phenomenal job with their Vimeo channels and their YouTube channels. And yeah, we're talking somewhere around 800 million views a year.
Wow.
So yeah, it's a very large company.
Wow.
So Primary Wave owns a lot of different catalogs, music groups, and one of them they bought was the Gaither Music Group.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So our contract is with the Gaither Music Group. It is distributed by Universal Music, which is Capitol Records. So
Oh,
Universal Music does all the distribution. Same company as like Universal Studios.
Yeah.
Yeah, same company. They do the distribution worldwide, and they are the largest distributor of music products in the world. Universal.
Wow.
Sony is second, and they're number one. So we were with Sony before. Now we're with Universal. But it's been wonderful because they've proliferated the music all kinds of places we never would have had the ability to.
Yeah.
Internationally and everywhere. So.
Oh wow. Yeah. I'll tell you nowadays it's
It's all about distributor,
Right,
digital distribution.
It's almost paramount to get the right digital distributor because that's all it is nowadays.
It is.
Yeah.
That's correct. Physical product is a very small portion of the business. The vast majority of the business is digital distribution.
Yeah. Nowadays, everybody and their grandma owns a computer, laptop, cell phone, something.
Yep. One of the reasons they took the CD players out of the cars is the vast majority of everybody just takes these cell phones and hooks their Bluetooth to the speakers in the car and plays it right
plugs
off the
a little cord in there.
Yeah, exactly.
Off the cord. Yep. And off to the races.
And then off they go because they've got their music all downloaded on their phones.
Right. Yeah. And of course, back. I'm kind of aging myself here, but we thought back in the day, floppy disks held like a whole boatload of stuff, and now you'd have to have like 7 or 8 floppy disks to hold like one CD or one flash drive of information, and you could stick the flash drive in your pocket, and there you go.
Now, you want to talk about Dayton? I remember the days when we would take an 8-track tape and put it in the player in the car, and it would play 2 or 3 songs, and then click, it'd go to the next channel, and then it'd do 2 or 3 songs, and click, it'd go to the next channel. That's in the 70s.
Right. Back in the glory days.
Exactly.
As my mom and dad used to say, back in the glory days.
Yep.
But, so you guys, you and Kim have been doing this for, you said, what, 20?
Well, as a family, 24. This is our 24th year.
Oh, as a family, okay.
As a family, but prior to that, she and I did it for 14 years as a duet, singing for church conferences, church camps, revival meetings, all kinds of situations.
Okay, I actually do. I do remember seeing that, and that's my fault for.
That was prior to that.
Yeah,
we got a few years on us here.
Right. Well, hey, do it as long as you can if it's for the glory of God, right? But, well, let me see if I have any more questions based on my notes that I wanted to ask. And I wrote down that you have regular prayer meetings
every Tuesday.
Every Tuesday night or every Tuesday evening.
So that started. It started in the very first year of our ministry. That was somewhere in January of 2000. We were singing at Calvary Church of the Nazarene in Columbus, Indiana, and it was very. There was maybe 35 people there. It was on a Sunday night, and the children were sitting down on the front seat, and I was speaking to the audience, and the Lord spoke to Kim very strongly and said, if I'm going to be able to use your family, you're going to have to pray. You're going to have to pray. And so it really impressed on her so greatly that when I was tearing the sound down, she said to me, I got something I got to tell you. So we're on the way home. We have a little minivan with I don't think we even had a trailer. Yeah, I think we might have had a trailer on the back of the minivan with a small sound system. And then the 4 kids were back in the back. And she said, the Lord spoke to me. I said, what did he say? And he said, we need to pray and pray everything that we do to pass. And I said, I agree with you. She said, I said, when do you want to start? And I said, I've got something planned for tomorrow night I've got to be away for, but let's start Tuesday night. And she said, okay, let's do it. And so Tuesday night became the tradition that we would put the children to bed and we would pray. And we prayed for 2 things initially. And that was the salvation of our children and that his kingdom would be expanded, not ours. And so that's what we prayed for.
That's awesome.
And 24 years later, we're still having those Tuesday night prayer meetings.
That's awesome. That's a good testament to obeying the Lord.
Well, it's one of the huge influences along the way, and we've had quite a number of them. Matter of fact, just 2 days ago, we were very honored to be asked to sing for Dr. Charles Stanley's funeral. So we were in Atlanta on Sunday and sang for his funeral. The speakers were Franklin Graham and Dr. David Jeremiah, and C.C. Winan sang, and we sang, and Greater Vision sang.
Wow.
And it was an amazing gathering. Between 10 and 11,000 people came through to view his body on Saturday, and somewhere around 7,000 attended the funeral on Sunday.
Wow.
And those influences from those kind of guys have been monumental for us.
Yeah.
One of the speakers there at the funeral, which was done via webcast or via video, was Pastor Jim Cymbala from the Brooklyn Tabernacle, who has had a huge influence on our ministry. Jim Cymbala and his wife built the church at Brooklyn Tabernacle from, I can't remember what he said, I think they had 18 their first Sunday they started.
Wow.
And we've sung to 10,000 people there many a times. We've been there 10 or 12 times and sung to 10,000 people on Sunday mornings.
Wow.
It's an amazing church.
That's
but
awesome.
they built that church on nothing but the scripture that says, I will show favor to them who call on my name. So calling on the name of the Lord and prayer, and that prayer meeting that they had at the Brooklyn Tabernacle every week on Tuesday night. They had that prayer meeting on Tuesday night at the Brooklyn Tabernacle. And that was the key to success from going from 18 people to 10,000. And they have kept sight of that. And that influences, that scripture, and Pastor Cymbala and his influence on us had a massive influence across the year. So we were honored to have those kind of guys have influence on us. Dr. Stanley had a big influence on us. He used us a lot in we did his cruises to Alaska. We sang at his church. He used us on the television broadcast a lot. And it was those influences that really just kept us grounded in why we do this, what the purpose is, and helped us be able to hold it together for 24 years.
and continuing.
And we're still doing it.
And we're still moving.
And we have 6 grandchildren and more on the way.
6 okay.
And they're all with us. They all travel.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
They all
So on top of being in a music ministry, you still get to meet grandma and grandpa.
Oh, that's so important because nobody else can raise them
Oh,
the
for
way
sure.
they need to except their parents.
Yeah.
And so they can't be left at home
Right.
while we're touring, so they have to go right along with us.
Yep.
And that going right along with us is really what pulled our children in and made them want to be a part of this. And it hopefully will translate to our grandchildren too.
Right, yeah, just continue it for years and years and years to come.
Yeah.
Well,
We've been honored to be able to do this all these years. God.
Yeah.
It's an honor to be at this church tonight. What an honor to be here. We've never ever. Matter of fact, Kim told the kids one time, if you ever walk in a place and say, "Boy, aren't they privileged to have us?" She said, "We're done." She said, "Everybody's fired that night," because
we're done.
The honor is on our part that this pastor in this church would allow us to use his platform to sing the gospel tonight. And boy, they have been gracious here. Woo. They have been so gracious to us. So,
well, I can tell you, I've only been doing YouTube for I don't think even a year yet, and I've been just trying to get out there and kind of do what I can, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna try. I don't think anything's gonna happen, but the Lord had other plans, and so I was like, hey, I'm just wondering, can I do this interview? Blah blah blah. Get a message back. What, a week later, something like that? Sure. I was like, no way.
Glad to.
So I mean, and I'm
glad
honored to be able to be able to do this.
Very glad to do it. I mean, we just anywhere that the Lord wants to, in any method that the Lord wants to use his kingdom to expand his kingdom.
Yeah.
Any method, anywhere, we just want to be available and do it. And we can't fulfill all the requests. We get more than, and I'm grateful for that. But we can't fulfill them all. We get more than we can possibly do.
Right.
We got a request yesterday on a Facebook message that this guy wanted vehemently Kim to teach him how to change keys on the piano.
Oh.
We finally had to say, I'm sorry, she cannot give you piano lessons over Facebook.
Right. Yeah.
She just has enough on her plate with trying to be a grandma and trying to be the music director of this cruise, because she arranges most of the music we do.
Right, yeah.
Along with our producer, the two of them together.
Yeah.
And so her plate's really full. We got a big new recording coming up. We have a brand new recording. We're starting week after next. So,
very cool. I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah.
I'll be looking forward.
It will be classics and hymns.
Classics and that sounds
all classics
exciting.
and hymns. So some of them are classic gospel songs written 40, 50 years ago.
Yeah.
Some of them are. So we're honoring Andre Crouch, Lanny Wolf, Bill Gloria Gaither. We're doing all the, but we're not doing the super familiar ones. We're doing ones that we don't want to get lost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe something you've never heard
Like
of.
Jesus, You're the Center of My Joy. Gaithers wrote that along with Richard Smallwood. We're doing
Right.
that. We're doing I Am Not Ashamed of the Gospel that Janet Paschal made very famous. Dawn Thomas wrote that. But that's been 40 years since she cut it.
Right.
It's like
yeah.
all those songs, we don't want them to get lost.
Right.
These are classics.
Oh yeah.
These are songs that Bill Gaither says you throw against the wall and they stick.
Well,
There's been a lot of them that fell down the wall, did not stick.
Right.
Unfortunately, the most of what is run on radio today, they won't stick.
Yeah.
They'll not be Fanny Crosby songs.
Oh gosh, no.
But
no.
Some of these songs that were written like Andre Crouch, some of them are like It Will Never Lose Its Power. The blood will never lose its power. So
love that
those
song.
songs will last because they stick when they hit the wall.
Right.
Lanny Wolf wrote some. We're doing a song he wrote called Precious Blood, and we're putting it together with Andre Crouch's It Will Never Lose Its Power. And those are both songs that will stick when they hit the wall.
Yeah.
They were written 40 and 50 years ago. But
Right.
Dottie Rambo wrote some of those songs that just stick when they hit the wall.
Oh, no.
So that's the reason why we decided this album will be classics and hymns.
And that's appropriately named for sure.
Yeah. So we're excited about it.
Right.
We'll do it over the summer. We'll get most of it finished over the summer. Then we'll film it. We don't know yet if we're going to film it in the fall or next winter, but it'll be out next year.
Okay.
Sometime next year.
There you go. Something to look forward
Yeah.
to. Well, looks like we're getting close to game time. So
It looks like it.
Yeah, so I'm not going to keep you any longer. But again, I really appreciate you taking the time to do this. And I will link all of their information down in the description below. So please go check them out. If you watch this video, please go check them out. It's just the collingsworthfamily.com.
That's great.
And you can find all their information there, where they're going to be touring, that sort of thing. So, again, please check them out. And thank you again.
You're welcome. I'm very grateful to have a Buckeye for our camera lady.
Yeah, we got an Ohio girl behind the camera there. So, but well, anyway, guys, again, please go check them out. And like I always say, when music speaks, you better listen, because you never know what you're going to hear.